Well, I see your faces with a mask on, but I still see faces. Good to see you all. Good morning. Welcome back. We're good to be here. Happy to be here. So let's get it started, shall we? Standing outside the door of love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place there for you. You know there's peace inside, but still you're searching for someone who understands the pain you've been through. Well, the door's unlocked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. You'll find the place of rest in the arms of Spirit. God's waited so long for your homecoming day. God knows the peace you seek and the hurt you're feeling. Spirit wants to hold you and to wipe the tears away. Well, the Father waits with open arms. God is calling out your name. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. Well, there's room enough in the house of love for someone just like you. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, just come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, yes, come on in.
And good morning, everybody. Where do you hear piano like that on a Sunday morning? We are so thrilled to have our wonderful musicians here, and I'll introduce them in a moment. First of all, greetings to all of our live streamers who continue to tune in so faithfully and spread the word of us. I know some of you are all over the United States now, so thank you for being part of this spiritual community. Also to our live on Facebook, we're happy to see you there. So for those of you that aren't aware, our website is unitypompanobeach.org. And even though we have had some challenges with getting our live stream to be there from last week, our wonderful volunteer, John Guerin, is on it. We've got some new equipment we're working with. We're working with a YouTube channel, so bear with us, and this service will be available. And we will go forward being available to everybody when you travel or have friends and family elsewhere. So to our studio audience today, welcome. It's good to see you. As more and more of us get vaccinated and continue to feel safer, we invite you to make a reservation and come on in. As you see, our seats are finished on this side, and we will get to the south side seats. They're out right now, probably 2 more weeks or so, and we will have new seating for you. And those of you who are regular attenders, can you kind of squiggle around a little bit? Feels pretty good, doesn't it? Boy, when the old ones were here and the new ones were coming in and we came up to watch the process, the difference between sitting in one and the other was pretty miraculous. So I'm Bev Spivey. If you haven't met me yet, it's my joy to minister here with my husband, Reverend Lawrence Palmer. And we also give our greetings again to our wonderful musicians being led by James McCoy.
Good morning. So good to see all of you. Thank you for being here this morning. We have Mr. Peter Wallace at the piano with us once again. Mr. Jeff Renza at the drum sets. Samantha Natalie Wallace is our featured soloist. And we have music today from, they're kind of New Thought, Unity staples, really. It's music from Faith Rivera and from Karen Drucker this morning. So, and we just want to remind you, we are a 21st century facility. Not only do we have, you can see the service on Facebook and the website, but now we do have the YouTube channel where you can go during the week, and if there's anything you missed or want to hear again, you can look at that service right there on YouTube and other services, right, John? Yep.
All right. And watch our Happenings newsletter and sign up to be a subscriber on that YouTube channel. It's free, of course, but it's a lot easier to find it than searching through every time. So I remind you that on the website is a place to contact us, read all about Unity, or certainly to send in your prayer requests. And our team of chaplains continues to enjoy being available to you for prayer. So today, I just want to remind you that our women's group will be meeting on Saturday on Zoom. So go ahead and register for that. The information will be on the website. And this will be our last official meeting for the summertime, and we'll start up again in the fall. But I'm sure there'll be some unofficial things of gatherings of sisterhood during the summer. Every once in a while, somebody will get a notion to put a nature walk or a restaurant visit together. And we'll let you know that. So sign up for Women of Unity. Any woman is welcome. You need not be a member of this congregation. So sisterhood is major, and we invite you to join in on that. So today, the big announcement is our Adopt a Seat program. And such a majority of our members have contributed. They have dedicated seats. Some have given larger amounts than others. Some have just given an amount to get their love and appreciation out there and recognized and known. So today, Lawrence and I have not yet sent in our 2 seats that we would like to give and adopt. And I would encourage those of you who are members here, if you have not yet given to that Adopt a Seat fund, do, because it becomes very meaningful that we have put our love into these new seats that will be here much longer than most of us. So I want to take time to dedicate those who have given so far. We've had 257 seats already adopted. We only have 90 to go. We only have a little more than $7,000 left to collect, $7,200. So please, whatever amount, send it in for Adopt a Seat. It's right there on the website. So here we go with seats adopted, and then I'll read the dedication. From Mark and Jane Anderson, in memory of Marcia Dawson, Pearl Patilla, and Virginia Lane. Tracy Bridgham, here's to seats in a place of love. John Brown, in loving memory of Lawrence L. Brown, Sr., 1892 to 1960. Catherine Cuevas, in honor of parents, Mr. and Mrs. Edward J. Dowden. Jim Dolan, in loving memory of my father, James Dolan. John Dolan, blessings for this wonderful spiritual home. Rita and Phil DeRocher, in memory of Virginia Lane and in memory of Marcus Compton. Samuel Garcia, in loving memory of Antonio Garcia. Cornelia Hura, for Cornelia and Rawson. Barb Janetta, dedicated to Mary Curtis and Eva Tanner. Nancy Cavathas, honoring Daniel Crooks. The family of Robbie Krebeck, in memory of Robbie. Joel Lehman, in loving memory of Jared Lehman. Darby and Joe Line, in memory of Kenneth and Ann McKenzie and Marshall and Mary Alda Line. Patrick McCabe, in memory of Audrio and Lore Ferretti. Delita and Orlando McLean, to honor our hard-working kitchen volunteers. Betsy and Fernando Medina, I was a stranger and you welcomed me. Louise Morley. For Mag Stevens, Elza Stevens, Stephen Morley, Mark Tass, and one for Louise. Karen Nagy, in memory of Miguel Perez. Carmen Narves, in memory of Bernabella Hernandez, Edwin Narves, Roberto Rodriguez, and Virginia Lane, and in gratitude for our Unity family. Pat Nolte, in memory of Donald Hammerstrom, companion to Pat Nolte, board member 2012 to 2018. Walter Parks, in memory of Cecil Samuel Parks, Hazel Hannah Parks, David Allen Parks, Samuel Van Parks, and Walter Frank Parks. Ann Poole, in memory of Alice and Don Poole. Shirley and Wilton Scott, in honor of our daughter, Shoshana Shelley Dawn Powell. Anthony and Diana Silvani, in memory of Madeline and Anthony Silvani, and in honor of Helen and Harold Poole, Michelle and Mike Bergen, Lucas Silvani Bergen, and Mia Silvani Bergen, Paul Silvani, and Linda Ray Westbrook. From Ron Smith and Chris Hanlon, to honor our former spiritual home and memories of our beloved spiritual family. John Spira, in memory of John D. Spira and Mary V. Spira. Suzanne Tendler, love and gratitude. Harold Zuckerman, in memory of Connie Zuckerman. And these were people who did not specify their adoption. If any of you are listening today and you would like to add your dedication, you just can email the office and let us know. We had an anonymous donor who wanted to purchase several seats. We had Jim and Michelle Anderson, Elma Brown, Patty Kroonquist, Melissa Curry, Roy Edwards, Victoria Engelhart, John Fitzgerald, Sandra Friedman and Barb Safiullin, Carmela Garone, Anthony Gordon, Colleen Haney, Terry Jorish, Carol Mathawas, Diana Marshallek, Angela Miller-Katzen, Paul Orr, Cynthia Roberts, Olga Rodriguez, Sonia Sage, Nancy and Jim Showerty, Brad Silling, Peggy Smith, Jeff Torrey, Larry and Nancy Wallace, Sandy Warner, Bob Wilson, and Kirsten Wan. And why do we take time to do this? Because you can feel the energy of the love in this place, and we put that energy into each and every one of our seats, because as Betsy said in her dedication, there are strangers who come in, and we want them to feel welcome here. So thank you all for your giving. For those watching online that haven't even been here and yet have sent in a donation, we thank you too. So let us move now to our daily word for today, which is grace. The grace of God is alive in me. I don't need to do anything to earn or deserve the grace of God because it is always present. Mine to claim in any situation. Grace dawns in my awareness as soon as I move beyond the limits of my human understanding. I let go and let the peace, love, wisdom, and strength of God fill me, lift me, and guide me. In both the challenging and the ordinary moments of life, the grace I give and the grace I receive keep the awareness of God in my heart. During a tough conversation, a thought comes to mind that helps reestablish harmony. As I mull an important decision, a fresh insight clarifies my thinking. Feeling overwhelmed by my to-do list, I feel renewed energy and move forward with strength and enthusiasm. In these moments and more, I discover grace anew. The scripture from John 1:16, from his fullness we have all received grace upon grace. And let us now prepare for a time of meditation.
color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is light. I am 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 divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light. I am light.
I invite you now, wherever it is that you may be, to join with us as we enter the stillness. We know that this is a time of peace, a time of pure safety, a time of pure love and presence. So I invite you to give your body permission to relax, to let go, to let be. And give your mind that same loving permission just to be present, open, willing. And with our body at ease and mind at ease, your awareness is free then to commune with Spirit. And as we are focusing on power during this month, I invite you to imagine yourself enfolded in whatever it is that power means to you. There may be a color that comes to mind, a sensation that comes to mind. One of your senses is activated. Whatever that experience is, I invite you to give yourself into that pure experience of power. And know that you are loved, you are cared for, you are watched over, you're appreciated. All of this is yours. So allow your awareness to sink into this deep and bright blessing and settle into that space of welcome, peace and presence. So as we share in this individual experience, we share it together as well. And the experience is compounded by each one who joins in this consciousness of oneness and peace and presence. So as we have now prepared, I invite you to join together in the time of stillness, in the time of quiet, together. Now, as you prepare to move your awareness back to your space and your time, you know that even an instant during which your awareness is immersed in that deep of your heart, that healing and transformation take place. And you know that you can bring with you into your body, your mind, your heart, the essence of this experience in the stillness. And in this coming week, as you choose to, you can recall this experience and be blessed all over again. So with a deep sense of gratitude for this opportunity of being together in this special way, I invite you to take a deep, slow breath in through your nose. Hold it for a moment. Exhale slowly through your mouth. When you're ready, open your eyes as we sing together, Alleluia.
The power of now is always present, nowhere to be than where you are. The power of now flows oh so gracefully. Power of now is always perfect, no one to be than who you are. The power of now flows oh so easily. Be willing to let go of everything you think you need to know. Oh, be strong enough to let go of everything you think you need to control. For everything goes away. Let everything wash away. The power of power of now is ever flowing, connecting us all to the one. The power of now unfolds so peacefully. strong enough to let go of everything you think you need to control. For everything goes away. Let everything wash away. The power of now. The power of now. The power of now. Power of
Once again, band, thank you so much. Wow. Honey, did you invite all these people here? Yeah. Wow, well, you done good. It is so wonderful to see you here. Wow, how you like the new seats? I heard someone say early, boy, it'll be easier to go to sleep now. Yeah. Which reminds me of a story. One Sunday, the minister was preaching away, and this gentleman just got up and walked out in the middle of the service. And at the end of the service, when everybody was filing by and talking to the minister, his guy's wife came up and apologized to the minister. Said, I'm so sorry about my husband leaving in the middle of the service. She said he walks in his sleep all the time. So feel at home. You know, my feeling about it, if it's anywhere you should feel comfortable and safe enough to be able to go to sleep in public, it ought to be in church. So we just trust it by the process of, or some kind of process in nature anyway. Soak it up, whether you're asleep or awake. I'm glad you're here. As you know by now, we're spending this year taking a look at what in Unity we call the 12 Powers of Man. Charles Fillmore wrote a book by that title. And it's been, I've not been able to find out whether Charles Fillmore originated this idea or whether he found it somewhere else, but regardless, it's something that we've used for a long time as a paradigm for studying our spiritual development. So far this year, we've looked at faith and strength and wisdom and love, and this month we're looking at power. And next month, during July, during which somebody has a birthday, it's going to be imagination. So on we go with the 12 powers through this year. Now, when we look at power, we can look at two different ways. One is, well, how does the world look at power? How does the world define power? And one of the definitions is the ability to do something or act in a particular way, especially as a faculty or a quality. And some of the synonyms that we find in the dictionary for power are capability, potential, potentiality, faculty, property, competency, and it goes on from there. So the traditional 3D world has a pretty good idea what power means there, but what do we mean power when we talk about spiritual power? Charles Fillmore said that humankind's innate control over their thoughts and feelings is power. And then he says that humankind is the power of God in action. Humankind is the power of God in action. To humankind is given the highest power in the universe, the conscious power of thought. There is a universal creative force that urges humankind forward to the recognition of the creative power of his individual thought. This thought is elemental, and all its attributes come under the dominion of humankind. When they cooperate with principle, humankind sits on the throne of their authority, and the elemental force is subject to them. So power, spiritual power, is the action of God moving in and through you and me, Spirit using us in that particular way. Now, there's some things about power that we want to say power is not. And one of the things that power is not, it is not a manifestation of our humanness. It is a manifestation through our humanness, but not of our humanness. Now, we can look at our world. I think being a human being is the most incredible thing. And I think we've only just begun to scratch the surface of understanding what it means to be human and all the capabilities that we have. I don't think we've even come close to understanding fully the characteristics that we humans have and to live up to the best of who and what we are. But spiritual power does not come out of our humanness. It comes through our humanness. That's important for us to understand, because when we look at what we've done with our humanness, we don't have a real good record here. If you study, as I have recently, all the gods and goddesses down through the millennia that we've been doing this sort of thing, what happens, you would think that the gods and goddesses would be the perfect form, that they would be the ideal. But really what we did is we took the gods and goddesses and made them into pseudo-humans. And not the best of humans either, because if you read the stories about the gods and the goddesses, you'll find that there was incest and adultery and rape and murder and lying and theft and all kinds of things going on among the gods. And this is supposed to be what humankind was worshiping. It didn't work very well that way. So let us definitely say that this power, this spiritual power that we're speaking about, does not come out of our humanness. It's not an invention of humankind. Now, because of that, we can also say that power is not limited. Spiritual power is not limited. Our human power is most certainly limited. As I found out last week, we were doing some renovation work in our backyard, and we had 4 trees that I was going to dig up. And I've told several people, if you really want to know what an iceberg is really like, you know, they say 2/3 of it's under the water, just cut down a tree this big around and then try to dig the roots out. It's this big under the ground. So I spent 2 days getting to the place where I could barely drag myself in the house. I bought this tool that we called a dirt digger. Some of you may know what I'm talking about. Is this pole that's 6 feet long. It's about 1 inch in diameter, made out of cast iron. And it weighs about 30 pounds. And you use that to dig out around trees and things like that to break the dirt up. By the end of the day, I couldn't pick the thing up. You know, you're supposed to take it like this and jam it in under the roots to break everything loose. And I was going, when the day was over. So I had definitely found the limits of my human power. And we know that in the human body, there's energy stored chemically in your bloodstream and in your muscles. So when your body needs some extra energy, it starts pulling that stuff out of your bloodstream until that's exhausted. Then it starts pulling it out of your muscles until that's exhausted. And then your body starts eating the muscle to give it energy. But at some point, enough is enough, and you just can't do it anymore. And I'd reached that point twice in those 2 days, where it was just, I was completely done. I could barely walk, put one foot in front of the other. So I definitely wasn't using my spiritual power during that time. So it's important for us to realize that spiritual power, as we know it, has no limits. It will not run out. It doesn't get less, no matter how much of it we use or no matter how much we give ourselves to be used by it. There is no limit to it. And that's something that's pretty exciting, because there are limits to everything else. There are limits to patience. How many of you have either said or heard it said, "You're getting on my last nerve"? You know, I have no more patience for this. And how about this one? That's it, right there. You reach the limit. Well, we don't have to worry about that with spiritual power. There is no limit that we're going to run into. There is no diminishment. There is no going away. Another thing is important to note about spiritual power is that spiritual power is no respecter of persons. Spiritual power is not available because you're good. Spiritual power is not there because you've done something special. Now, in our humanness, we like to feel special, don't we? How many of you have ever been a VIP in some setting? How many of you ever wished to be a VIP in some setting? Yeah? If you go to a club and you're a member of the VIPs and you get ushered in before everybody else. If you go to a restaurant and you're a VIP, you get special treatment, a special place to sit, and a special dinner, that sort of thing. So we treat people that way. We make a distinction between people who are special and people who are not special. If you're not a VIP, you don't get the special seat. You don't get to go in early. You don't get the special treatment along the way. Spiritual power doesn't care about whether you're special or not. Spiritual power sees all of us the same. It is available to all of us. Spiritual power doesn't discriminate among us as to whom it is available. So why is it then that we see some people that we would say, that person is really spiritually powerful, and look at somebody else and say, I don't see any spiritual power there? If spiritual power indeed is limitless and is available to everybody all the same, why do we see this discrepancy between people and how they manifest the spiritual power? It's because the manifestation of spiritual power does not depend on whether you're good enough or whether you deserve it or not. It's whether you are open or not, whether you are willing or not, whether you are awake and aware to let it move in and through you. It's there. It's like you opening and closing a valve, and that's up to you. It's not up to the power. The power is waiting there to flow in and through you in whatever marvelous way you choose. And that's your decision. You have that power, if you will, to be a vessel for the Spirit of God to move in and through you. And it's really important for us to remember that, because very often in our human lives, we give into this idea of some are better than others and some are not so good as others. Now, I always like to give you something to think about, to kind of twist your head around a little bit. So here's the head twister this morning. How many of you have ever heard, you can do anything you really want to do? You can be anything you really want to be, right? How's that working out for you? Yeah, most of the time not so good. And you get really frustrated, and what do you begin to feel? Something's wrong with me. Because I really, really want to be this, and I can't make it happen. I really, really want to have this, and I can't manifest it anyway. Something's wrong with me then. I think there's something wrong with what we're wanting. I think that we're doing ourselves a great disservice. Now hear me, this is Lawrence speaking. I won't claim any kind of ultimate authority that this is absolutely true. I mean, I believe it, but you don't have to. But chew on it a little bit. What if that is not a true statement? What if that's not an accurate goal to put before us, that you can do and be anything that you really want to badly enough? What if we come here with a certain sphere of experience that's available to us? And again, being human beings, I don't think we've even begun to exhaust all of that. I think for every one of us, there are possibilities we haven't even dreamed about yet, even though there are limits to it at some point. But we can be what is ours to be. We can do what is ours to do. And some things aren't ours to be. Some things aren't ours to do. Any of you watched the Kentucky Derby yesterday? Did your horse win? No. We missed it. Beth's mom called her and said, when's the Kentucky Derby happening? And it was just over. Bless her heart, she missed it that time. But have you ever been up close to a jockey, a guy that rides the horses? They're little bitty guys. They're about this big around. And they encourage them to be small because, have you ever seen the weigh-ins where the jockey's standing there holding the saddle and stepping on the scale? There are very strict requirements about how much weight each horse carries. And what happens if the jockey is lighter than that weight, they put weight on the saddle. And that weight on the saddle is more steady than on the jockey. So a lighter jockey is better, so they can make the saddle heavier and it rides smoother. So those jockeys are little bitty things. Now what if I tell you, I want more than anything else in the world to be a professional jockey? And I'm just a tad over 200 pounds. You're not going to see a jockey under any circumstances that weighs a little bit over 200 pounds, right? So for somebody to tell me, if I want to be a jockey bad enough, I can be a jockey. Well, there's a word for that I won't use in the present company, but I don't think so. So if we can get that square in our heads, understand that spiritual power doesn't mean I can do anything I want to do. I can be anything I want to do. What it means is I can be alert and awake and aware of who I am and what the possibilities are for me and what really stirs my soul for me to be. And I think I am doing exactly what I was meant to do here. I'm doing exactly right now what is mine to do. And I don't have any problem with that. I have no trouble seeing spiritual power flowing through me as I serve as minister, because that feels just perfectly right. And there are things like that for you as well. Now, sometimes we want to be something spectacular, and our culture values something that's outstanding, something that's unusual. Our culture values the VIPs sometimes more than the ordinary folks. I got a sermon on a preach one day called The Wonder of the Ordinary. Another time. But when we come to understand that this spiritual power is mine and it is waiting to be put into place, it's waiting, it's looking for a place to flow in and through, and that's you and me. So the deeper we go into our spiritual understanding, the more we know about who we are to be and who we can be and what we are called to be. And we can begin to see those things develop in our lives. And again, it doesn't have to be something spectacular. It doesn't have to be something that would go in the evening news. You may be feeling yourself to be wonderfully ordinary. But to do that, there's nothing better in the world than to be exactly who you are, regardless of what that is. And Spirit sees the truth in that. So your spiritual power manifests according to your willingness, your openness, your awareness. So whatever you do in your spiritual discipline, your prayer, your meditation, your study, your exercise, all of those things, allow those things to be openings to the presence of Spirit moving in you as spiritual power. And don't tie it down with all these other expectations and all these other ideas that are really false, that really don't work for us. Hold it in the truth of who you are and what you are, and let that power of Spirit flow in you and through you completely and cleanly. So remember now that spiritual power is not from your humanness. Spiritual power is not limited as other things are. And spiritual power, the flow of spiritual power in you and through you depends on you. And I don't say that in an accusing or a judging kind of way. I'm saying that in an encouraging kind of way, a motivating kind of way. It's up to you. I don't like somebody else being responsible for my stuff. I don't like to know that for me to advance spiritually, it depends on somebody else's opinion of me. That just doesn't feel very right. That depends on me. And it's the same for you. The flow of spiritual power depends on your openness, your willingness, and you have control of that. Nobody else does. That opens the door for us. It shows us possibilities like we've never thought about before. So be sure to keep in mind as well this idea of what is mine to do. It may be that you're spending a lot of time and energy wanting something that's really not yours to do. Let it be yours to do, and let that spiritual power flow in and through you and manifest that which is to come. That's what power is all about, the ability to act and to make things happen. Papa Charlie also talked about power, spiritual power, being that ability to transmute things from one level to another. You remember that paradigm of the creative process? Those of you who've been in any of my classes, you should remember that one anyway. What's the creative process? Mind, idea, expression. Spiritual power is what allows us to transmute idea into expression. Out of mind comes a form, comes an idea, comes a possibility, and that gets transmuted into reality, into manifestation through the use of spiritual power, flowing in and through us. But when it is yours to do, it opens the door to that power to flow. And if it's not yours to do, it's like beating your head against a brick wall. The energy is not going to flow because it's not there, because those things may not be yours to do. So double check with your heart about, is this mine to do? It's a very simple little phrase to use. Is this mine to do? Especially when somebody else tries to put something on you. You should be doing this. You really should be doing it like this. And you can simply say, is this mine to do? And if it's no, you can say, well, thank you very much for that. And going about your way, following the things that are yours to do, and that spiritual energy moving in and through you powerfully. That is your destiny. That is who we are as human beings. We were not designed to spend lives of frustration. We were not designed to spend lives of failure. We were designed to spend lives of success, whatever that means, in spiritual power. To be able to transmute energy from one form to another, from an idea to a manifestation. And something else I'm going to preach about one of these days is, what do you do when you manifest something and you want to undo it? Everything serves its purpose. What if you manifest something and then you find that, hey, this is not serving me anymore, but I don't know what to do with it now because I manifested it. What do I do now? Well, for me, spiritual power means I can change energy from one form to another. If I can go from mind to idea to expression, why is it I can't go from expression back to idea, turn it back into basic energy and release it? I believe we can. That's another one for another time. But that's spiritual power in action, doing those kinds of things that serve us best in our everyday lives. I want to close with a poem, and I want to offer apologies to Rudyard Kipling. I'm not sure when he passed, but I know he's not around anymore. He wrote a poem called If. Some of you, how many of you are familiar with it? Yeah, I thought so. I changed if to when to make it more affirmative. I didn't change the content of the poem at all, but just that one word, and I think it works better for us in this context. So let me share this with you, please. When you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, when you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, when you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or be lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give away to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. When you can dream and not make dreams your master, when you can think and not make thoughts your aim, when you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, when you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. When you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. When you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your long turn after they are gone, and so hold on when there's nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. When you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch. When neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, when all men count with you but none too much. When you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run. Yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a powerful, mature human. So I encourage you as you go into this week to take with you a new sense about spiritual power, that it is yours, and it depends on you how big the door is open, how big the conduit through which is flowing this spiritual power, because it's waiting for you to say yes. I invite you to say yes. Over and over. When you have the opportunity, say yes. When you know it's the right thing to do, say yes. When you feel that call within you, say yes. Say yes. Say yes. God bless you, my friends.
You know, in this month of power, it feels so good to be here and be part of this spiritual community that we have grown and developed. Well, we're in our 11th year now. And one thing that we ask of people wanting to join our membership is that they attend a unity orientation, hear about the history of the unity movement, hear about our history here, and then decide if they can make a commitment to ownership. Everybody is welcome here, and you see by the dedication of the names of seats that are given, several of those people are not official members here, but they've made a commitment to this community. So as you reflect on power and how you use your power and what you put your finances into supporting, think about adding your financial gift here so that we may continue using our power, because we focus on our spiritual principles here, our dedication to love in this community, our dedication to no drama, as much fairness and love that we can have for each person. We encourage that, and you'll feel that. If you haven't been in this community yet, you will feel that. Even though we aren't meeting in Fellowship Hall, you will feel that here. So we encourage your giving, and we are so very grateful to those of you who do give. Whatever amount, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. And so our gift to each other is to bless our giving together. And let's use our standard one we've been using for a couple years, but although the title is good, we switch it around. So this month with power, let's do it with power. With a grateful heart, we acknowledge God, of source of all that is. Today, we let go of any concern of lack, and we allow power to unfold in our lives. And by power, we're speaking of spiritual power. Spiritual power is ours. Power and more power is ours. An ever-increasing power is ours. Everywhere we go, we see this power. We feel it. We experience it. We freely give it. And it multiplies itself around us. And so it is. Amen.
I've got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, there's nothing I can't do. I've got the power to be anything I want. I've got the power inside of me. I've got the power inside of me. Every day I'm wasting my time thinking someone else is gonna do it all for me. Got to get up, get out, get it, just get started. Take one step towards my destiny. I'll define my direction with clear-cut intention. Declare what will be and then watch it come to me. 'Cause I've got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, there's nothing I can't do. No. I've got the power to be anything I want. I've got the power inside of me. Yeah, I've got the power inside of me. There are days when I feel I'm just no good. Days when I don't even want to try. But when I stop, look and listen and surrender, yeah,
They make that into
I
a
hear a
good
voice
tune.
of truth I cannot deny.
That's not how Karen
Says
Drucker
you
wrote
know
it.
you can do it, just get down to it. Have faith in yourself and you will see it through. 'Cause I've got the power to make all my dreams come true. Oh, I've got the power, there's nothing I can't do now. I've got the power to be anything I want, yeah. I've got the power inside of me. I've got the power inside of me.
You could have so much fun in church.
Well, Karen Drucker, I wish she could hear that. You should send her that. Those of you who are familiar with so many of our unity and spiritual musicians, you know, they make up a song and they sing it and play accompanying themselves, and there's nothing like having our professionals in our band do the arrangement. Yeah, send it to her. Even Jeff's drumsticks in there tapping on the rim. Way to go. Thank you all. Well, we hope that you feel fulfilled and happy and joyous as you leave today, and shine your light as you're going along on this month of May as we begin. So if you're able and willing to stand up and put your energy into this blessing we give everybody, our unity blessing. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Huh?
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with Great.
Blessings are falling, are falling, are falling. Blessings are falling like a sweet, sweet rain. Blessings are falling, are falling, are falling on me. Beauty is falling, is falling, is falling. Beauty is falling like a sweet, sweet rain. Beauty is falling, is falling, is falling on me. Oh Lord, I receive your blessing. Oh Lord, I receive